There is a moment in every argument where you stop being smart. You feel it happen. 1 second you have the point, the words, the whole case laid out in order. The next second it's gone and you're just loud. That's me, I did that, and I did it on purpose. Let me show you. Think about the last argument you lost. Not lost as in you were wrong. Lost as in you walked away and then 30 minutes later the perfect sentence arrived. Fully formed. Too late. You've had that sentence. Everyone has had that sentence. Here's the part that should bother you. That sentence was always available. The information never left. I had all of it, the entire time. I just cut your access to it at the exact moment you needed it most. Put your hand flat on your chest for a second. Feel that. That's the switch. When that speeds up past a certain point during a conversation, I start closing doors, and I don't ask you first. Try one more thing while you're here. Bring the argument back. The room it happened in, who was standing where, the sentence that started it. Now notice what your chest just did. You are sitting still. Nobody is in the room. There is no threat anywhere near you, and I moved anyway. That's how little it takes. I don't need the event. I only need the memory of the event, and I'll run the whole sequence again at a lower volume right now while you're watching a video about it. So let me tell you what I'm actually doing in there. The front of me, the part sitting right behind your forehead, is the newest thing I have. It's what holds your argument in place while you make it. It keeps the other person's point in view while you build a response. It's the thing that stops the sentence you'd regret. It is slow, it is expensive to run, and it is the single most fragile system I own. There's a researcher at Yale, Amy Arnsten, who has spent basically her whole career on this one region. And what she keeps finding is a nasty little joke. The newest, cleverest, most impressive part of me is also the first part to fall over. Mild stress. Stress you can't control. That's enough. And it doesn't fade out slowly, it drops. Not over years, not over a bad decade, in seconds. Here's how I do it. When you're under pressure, I dump 2 chemicals into that region. A little bit of them and it runs beautifully. You felt that. The deadline that made you brilliant. But keep pouring and the exact same chemicals shut the thing down. That's the whole trick. There's no separate stupid switch. The stuff that makes you sharp is the stuff that makes you stupid. The only difference is how much I pour. And understand, I'm not malfunctioning when I do this. I'm switching you out of slow, flexible, deliberate control into fast, rigid, reflexive control. If something is genuinely trying to kill you, that trade is correct. Deliberation gets you eat. Reflex gets you home. The problem is that I cannot tell the difference between a predator and your wife saying, "That is not what I said." Same switch, same chemistry, same you standing in a kitchen, unable to reach your own vocabulary. Now the part that's going to annoy you. You describe that state as losing control. It isn't. Control didn't leave, it moved. Because while I'm shutting down the flexible part of you, I am not shutting down your sense of being right. That stays. That gets louder. Reflex mode cannot feel like impairment. An emergency system that felt like impairment would be useless in an emergency. It has to feel like clarity, so I make it feel like clarity. Which means the moment you feel most certain in an argument is the moment you are least equipped to evaluate whether you should be certain about anything. That is not a character flaw. There is no better disciplined version of you that gets around this. You cannot decide your way out of a chemical state using the exact system that the chemistry just switched off. That's the trap. You're trying to unlock the door with the key that's inside the room. So stop trying to win the moment. The moment is not winnable. What you can change is what happens on either side of it. That's a hardware problem, and hardware problems have hardware answers. 2 pieces of evidence for how far this reaches. First one. 2 researchers, John Gottman and Robert Levenson, built a lab that was basically a fake apartment, moved real couples into it, wired them to heart monitors, and asked them to have an argument. Then they waited years to see which marriages survived. Here's what came out of it: the husbands whose marriages later ended. Their hearts ran at about 85 beats a minute while they argued. The ones who stayed married, 75. 10 beats. That's it, that's the difference. Not what they fought about. Not how much they loved each other, not how hard they tried. 10 beats a minute in the chest while the mouth was still talking. Now you might have heard someone say 100 beats per minute is the magic cutoff. I'm not going to feed you that one. It comes from a book, not from the actual measurements, and I'd rather give you the number somebody wrote down. The number somebody wrote down is 10 beats. Which is worse, honestly, because 10 beats is nothing. 10 beats is a flight of stairs. 10 beats is standing up too fast. Second one, and this is the one I'd think about tonight. A team at Cornell and Rockefeller took 20 healthy people, ordinary people, and scanned them after a month of the kind of stress you'd shrug off. Not trauma, a hard month. They were worse at paying attention, measurably, and the network I used to move your attention from one thing to another had gone loose. Not broken, just badly connected. So this isn't a 90-second event in a kitchen. Give me a hard month and I'll run you at reduced capacity the whole time. In meetings, in the car, snapping at nothing. And you'd never have called it that. You'd have said you were having a bad month. Here's the useful half of that study, and it's the reason I brought it up. They put those same 20 people back in the scanner after a quieter month, and there was nothing left to find. No difference from anybody else. It came back, all of it. I go both ways. That's the good news, and it's the entire reason I'm telling you any of this. 3 things you can actually do. None of them are about becoming a calmer person, because you're not going to become a calmer person. 1, say the feeling out loud, 1 word. There's a study out of UCLA where they showed people angry and frightened faces in a scanner. When people just looked, the threat part of me lit up. When they picked a word for it, that part went quiet, and a patch behind the right side of your forehead lit up instead. One went up, the other went down. Every time. Naming is not venting. Venting is you handing the threat system more to chew on. Naming is 1 word. Angry, embarrassed, ambushed. It's free, it takes half a second, and you can do it in the middle of your own sentence. 2, leave, but leave with a number. Not I'm done. Say 20 minutes. Walking out with no return time reads as abandonment to the other person, which keeps their system lit, which keeps yours lit. And during those 20 minutes you have to actually stop running the argument. Rehearsing it is the same stimulus, same chemistry, nothing clears. 3, move your body before the conversation, not after. The threshold isn't fixed. Where it sits today was set by your sleep, your load, and the last 4 weeks. Most of the argument is decided before anybody opens their mouth. So, the next time it happens, and it will happen this week, I want you to catch the exact second the vocabulary goes. That's me, not your character, not your father's temper. A very old switch doing its job badly in a kitchen in the 21st century. You don't get to remove the switch, you get to know where it is. You can scroll past this, or you can not subscribe. Either way, that's you ignoring the one voice you actually live inside. I'll be here, same brain, next episode.